Welcome to Practical Talk. I am your host, Pastor Wendell Jeffrey. Namaste, salam alaikum, Christian greetings. We are having this discourse that we're going to continue. Dr. Vishnu Bandhu is in the studio with me. But before we do that, let's get into our segment Talking Practically. I have long reasoned that in Guyana, common sense is not largely the modus operandi of the country's governing parties and the political leaders. The only time that the citizens get what they want or what was promised to them is when they fight. We always have to fight. When the PPP was in the opposition prior to 1992, they fought for all the rights and privileges that should have ordinarily been theirs. For 28 long years, they fought for free and fair elections. It took the magnanimity of the then President Hugh Desmond Hoyt to bring about the free and fair election process, the electoral free and fair process in Guyana. Then for 23 years, the PNC fought against the PPP abuse of state media and the state apparatus. The opposition also fought for local government elections. And they fought for a depoliticizing of the judiciary. Then the AFC came on and joined the PNC for the establishment of the Public Procurement Commission. They both joined, and they joined the unions, and they fought for, they asked for the PPP to engage in collective bargaining and increase wages and pensions. But now that the PNC coalition is in power, the opposition PPP is fighting for the regularizing of the Public Procurement Commission. They're fighting the PNC for the establishment of the Establishment Commission and the Ethnic Relations Commission. The fight continues. Now that the PNC is in power, the Public Service and the Teachers Union are fighting for the same things that they were fighting for under the PPP. The fight continues. The unions are still fighting the government and begging them to return to the negotiating table. There is an unbelievable fight for collective bargaining, even though it was a campaign promise of this government. The fight continues. Parents are fighting the Minister of Finance and begging him to reverse his VAT that he added to the tuition cost for private education. The business proprietors and the business owners had to fight with the government and their city representatives to have the parking meter law revoked. It is obvious that the Guyanese will never get what is rightfully theirs or what they deserve without a fight. When the AFC was an independent, objective party, they got fed up with the fight and they moved a no-confidence motion against the PPP government at the time. And it caused the then President Ramatar to prorogue the parliament. And the rest is history. The United Republican Party is saying that Guyana needs a third party that will create the same kind of objective independence that the AFC once provided to the parliament. Guyana needs a party in the parliament that will objectively and unbiasedly represent the will of you, the Guyanese people. Because left to themselves, the two major parties will make the Guyanese public fight for everything that should rightfully be theirs. The URP will fight for you. And that's our promise. And that's talking practically. Thank you. Doc, again, another week. You're looking sprightly and fresh. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Fine.
You know, one of the things that the voters, especially in the United States, during the last election were very concerned about was the health of the political leaders. You know, they wanted to know what was the health of Donald Trump and what was the health status of Hillary Clinton. So I guess that people are the same wherever you go. So I guess that the Guyanese folks would want to know, what is your health? How are you doing? How is your medical checks coming up? Have you been checking your cholesterol and you're doing your PSA test?
I'm fine with that concern.
You're good?
I'm good with that concern.
Yeah.
I learned about that in my teaching and
Yeah, no, that your formal
spirituality.
studies was in
Yes.
that area, right?
And so I know how I feel in my body and what to do when something wrong with me.
One of these segments, if you wouldn't mind, I guess we can probably talk about that, because health is so major, but yet it can be achieved or maintained by doing some simple things. And you
Yeah.
have talked to me about some of the things you could do to prevent a heart attack.
Yeah.
Some of the things you can do to improve your well-being. So at one time, maybe for a couple of segments,
Yeah.
we would talk about health because
Because
that's important.
health is very important throughout the world.
Yes.
One of our most expensive area in any part in the world is the medical area, because the pharmaceutical companies create pills and create all kind of things that send you more and more into it, and it's all about money making.
Right.
Right. And when you go to a doctor, for instance, if you go there and they detect that you have high blood pressure, they're going to treat you. And when they treat you for the high blood pressure, they'll tell you come back in 30 days. So when you go back in 30 days, you have to pay the doctor fee. You have to pay for the tablets. And every tablet carry a side effect.
Okay.
Every one. So if they in 6 to 8 months, that from that one tablet you get will become 2, because the one tablet is able to bring down some kind of other part in the body.
You need to
Right.
You
Yeah.
need to break
Yeah.
break down. So
Break down,
you
yeah,
get
you
one
know.
tablet for one thing, and then
And
another
then
tablet
it-
to
it-
counteract
yeah,
the
big-
negativity
big-
of
yeah.
the other thing.
Correct.
Right.
That is why you see that many of our old folks, especially in the United States and Canada, when they come here, they come with a bag full of tablets, and they will separate them.
Monday,
This
Tuesday.
10 tablet for this morning, 8 tablet for midday, 10 tablet for the afternoon.
Wow.
And it continues because more and more they go and see the doctor overseas. It's more and more money the doctors make and the pharmaceutical company make. So this is something that we need to teach in Guyana. So what we are teaching is to take people out of diseases.
Okay.
Right? What doctor does? Doctor treat you for diseases. But we are teaching people how to come out of these diseases.
Right, and I looked at how quick you jumped on this here, because this wasn't what we were planning to talk about today. But because that is your default, that's where you have your expertise.
Yeah.
And
I have been teaching this before, but since I get into this political rungs, I haven't been getting the chance to teach it.
Okay.
But I love teaching it because it helped me and it gave me it gives me self-satisfaction, It gives me self-satisfaction. So that's why I like to, talk about it.
All right, well, Doc, we've been having this national discourse, and many persons have been talking to me about their viewing us both locally and internationally, and I guess we're very systematic. At some point, we will open the phone lines. It's at some of our recordings so that folks can call in and share their views. But we need to set the parameters. We need to cast the vision of what it is that the URP plans to do. Doc, we talked a couple of times about and the reason I want to bring it back to you and ask you to again share is because folks have been asking me, Pastor Jeffrey, if we decide to go with the URP, how do we know that they are not going to collate with one of the existing parties? And because you guys want power, and how do we know? Of course, it's a difficult question to answer in the sense that you can't really convince a person. But as it stands right now, you're saying that for a number of reasons, you don't plan to go down that route. So paint that picture again.
Pastor, I tired talking about this. And the reason is simple. It's not a difficult question.
It's not a difficult.
It's a very simple question. As I said many times, look, those people who are asking how we know you wouldn't go down that road. I am challenging you. Come aboard with the URP to ensure that such thing doesn't happen.
Okay, so
right?
Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
All right.
Come aboard and you will assure that such thing wouldn't happen. Now, from the formation in 1985 with the URP in New York, we have made that decision from the beginning that the URP would not collate with no political party.
Okay.
Right? Because we see in Guyana, coalition does not work.
Correct.
We remember in the PNC time when they coalesced with the United Force, and United Force was kicked out after two months. We saw again when this coalition happened with the APNU, we see what's happening. There's a lot of infighting going on, right? And we know about it.
I was reading. Dr. Hines was making a claim the other day that the WPA, which forms a part of the APNU conglomerate, and he's saying that the WPA has been virtually silent, and that a time has now come for the WPA to assert itself and to come public. Now that in itself speaks volume, because what Dr. Hines, an executive member of the WPA, is saying that the coalition has caused the WPA to be muzzled. So everywhere we look, I know a lot of people are saying that the AFC is virtually a dead party because of their coalition. So I guess what you're saying, Doc, is that history has taught you how to behave.
Yeah. Besides that, personally, my personal feeling that every party that collates with the APNU cannot go out there and face these people because they are stained. Because people said you were a part of the government.
Okay.
And this is what the government has been doing to us. And you can't come and tell us nothing different now.
Okay,
because you have been a part of it.
Okay.
So I can see that the political party that associate themselves with the APNU in the coalition will be able to go out there and convince anybody independently anymore.
The coalition.
Right? I think that they all kill themselves by doing that. Now, the URP idea is totally different from the PPP and the APNU or the PNC. Right? We are a more free enterprise political party. We are a more democratic political party. Our views is for the people voice to be heard, and the people voice must be in action. Not only heard, but they must be able to decide on issue that affecting our country. Like, for instance, that is why we are saying that we do not believe in local government for party to be involved in it.
Okay, so the local government should not be contested by national parties.
We do not believe in that. That is why the URP in the last local government election, they did not contest in the local government. We encourage that each community should form themselves into groups and contest the local government election, because they will be able to solve their problem in a better way than where the party involved. But the party tried to involve because they tried to manipulate the people, to get votes and get this and get that, But look, we do not want, the central government already have so much of power. Why you want to dabble in that? Well, share the power amongst the people. And,
well, it's difficult. It's difficult to see power and not leave power alone. You understand? Power corrupts. We talked about that, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
No.
So it's difficult.
Power corrupts those who doesn't know about power. That's how I see it.
Okay.
Power corrupts those who doesn't know about power.
Okay.
When you know about power, you don't have to be corrupt because you know about it. You see? Look, for instance, in my case. Right? Power, there's nothing but power with me. I would like to work with people. I don't want you to feel that, look, I am ruling you. I'm not ruling nobody. I'm working with you. That is why the URP are saying, what we are saying, that we have nothing to give you, like the other political party telling you. you know, that will give you road, will give you light, will give you water. Ask the party one question: where do they get the money to give you all these things when it's yours already?
It's yours.
You know, they are being paid to do a job.
Correct.
Right?
And they take
they do it right. Right. But because our people are not educated to understand that every resource in Guyana is the people's resource.
Beautiful.
It's the Guyanese resource.
Yep.
So you can't give me something
that belongs to me.
What it belongs to you already, or belongs to me.
Correct.
How can you do that? So this is the difference with the URP. We are going out and tell people, look, you want something, we will work with you together to achieve it.
Beautiful.
Not to give you. We don't have nothing to give you.
Wow.
You know, it is a simple thing.
That's a nice concept.
You see?
I like that concept. Right. Doc, you've been we talked a while back on the inroads that you've been making in the bauxite tongue of Linden, and you shared that Linden has become a very depressed tongue back from the days that you knew it in the earlys. You have the URP has just done made a very significant move. You want to talk a little about that?
Oh yeah, we just signed a contract yesterday of obtaining a new office. Okay. We'll be having an official office in Linden now from the 1st of next month.
Beautiful.
You know, and we are working hard because a lot of people in Linden are asking us to get an office so that they can go and they can interact and they can pick up literature and they can lodge their complaint and so forth. Mm-hmm. Why I'm working so much with Linden? It is because I'm working with anybody who wants to make a difference in their life.
Yeah, they're hurting badly.
Right? And they are hurting more than the Indians. Yeah. I'll tell you that. Yeah. The black people in this country at this moment are hurting more than the Indian. Right? Because many Indians has a little saving.
They have the resource,
right?
Resource.
Right, to fall back on.
Yeah.
But these poor people, doesn't have nothing to fall back on. Right? And this is why I am aiming so much on these kind of people.
And it's good that you could because of your own values, you can cross the divide, the social divide, and seek to help these people. And I know that they will appreciate that. And I hope that when time comes for them to remember, because sometimes people have short memories, that they would understand what you are doing and what your bigger vision is. Because if you can do this now without any parliamentary portfolio, then imagine what you would be able to do when once you get into parliament.
Pastor, my feedback from some of the guys who are organizers in Linden, they said, it's the first time they have been involved in other political party before. And it's the first time they ever know that they go out there and somebody had to say anything ill about me or this political party. Okay. They said not one person they found like that in the Linden area.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I admired about you, and that's one of the things that caused me to align myself with you. And it is because you don't have any untoward baggage. You understand? You don't bring any of the negativities that come normally with a career politician. And I like that, because I think that politics has been so badly stained that when you hear politicians, you cringe.
Yeah.
However, I guess that you do what you do, and my desire to do what I do is grounded in the notion that we just want to help.
Definitely.
You understand?
Definitely.
And so people say, you're a politician. It's just that you want to help, and this is a way in which you can get involved in the administration of your country, especially a broken country like the one that we live in.
I have been, umpteen time, I have been listening to some of my friends telling me, Vishnu, you do not have nobody in Guyana. Why are you wasting your time, your money, and your energy in Guyana and leaving your family in the United States? But Pastor, I am a Guyanese.
I'm
Every hair in my body is Guyana.
Yes, sir.
For me.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
this land happened to be my motherland.
Beautiful.
And I would love to protect it with my last breath.
Wow.
Right? Wow. In my life. And I will fight down the odds. I had some resistance from my wife before, but now I see she helping me out.
Beautiful. And she's also Guyanese, right?
She is Guyanese.
Wales,
right?
Yeah. That area.
My daughter helping me out. She going to the criminal law university, John Jay, in
wow.
New York.
Wow, that's
a
big school.
So everyone of my close family are involved in the URP right now, helping. Yeah. Because they realize, you know, as you rightly said the last time, you know, what Gandhiji said, what he said,
first they
ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you won.
Then you win.
So I think I'm on the winning side right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And you know, as you talk of your love for Guyana, I guess the same is true for me. You know, here I am, my children are grown and gone. My wife is not from this country. I guess my wife is not quite where your wife is, because my wife says, when I said, girl, I'm just trying to help to get the country better, she laughs and she says, well, let's go away and come back when it gets better, right? But all of us, you know, Guyanese to the bone, and we wish and hope that this country, and it can, because we got all the resources. Yeah. I mean, I've been to Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, I've been around, and the hardest working people in any of those countries that I've gone to are the Guyanese from the diaspora.
If you will go in Canada and New York, you know, Guyanese people, a company who know Guyanese, longing to employ them, because they know they are dedicated worker, they are hard worker, you know, and they come to work on time and things like that. But if you go across this country today and you ask anybody how things are, the man thing is very bad. But I am asking you the question. If things are so bad, what are you doing to try to assist to make it better? It's only sitting down and talk and want Pastor Jeffrey and Dr. Bandu to work and make it good so you can enjoy it?
You know, the people, you know, Harriet Tubman, the lady that freed a lot of slaves. She said she would have been able to free more slaves if she could have convinced them that they were slaves. I'm saying that in context. Guyanese have been so badly beaten down over the years. We have been so badly abused at the political level, at the physical level, at the academic level, that a lot of Guyanese don't have that fight in them anymore. Our suicide rate is the highest, and I'm asking the purveyors of those who can do clinical assessments to determine why our suicide is so high. One of the reasons, I think, is because of the prevailing depression that obtains in Guyana.
The economical system.
You know,
it's not there. But we have to ask ourselves the question, brother. Look, we have to do something, and we have to work together. And what causes all these things? A simple thing caused all of this thing. Race. Causing all this thing in this country. Yeah. Up to now, you hear some of the older folks, and even some of the young ones too, who are influenced by their parents and grandparents, telling you about the 60s and things. To hell with the 60s. The 60s come and gone. You know, you can't live in the past. You have to live in the future. Right? You can't talk about race. You have to talk about unity. You have to talk about love. You have to talk about caring. And as long as you talk about those things, those are the truth. We are speaking the truth, and you can never kill the truth.
Beautiful.
No matter what you do, you can't kill the truth.
Beautiful.
You know, and we will keep on, the URP will keep on speaking the truth. And what I would like to tell our audience, those of you who have the thoughts that the URP might collate with these people, the URP, I must tell you, is not here for power. They are here to serve you, the people, and to make your life a better life. And only that is our intention. If power comes to us, fine. We'll open our hand and welcome it, right? But we are not, this is not our main thing. Those, the political party who are aiming on that only is the PPP and the PNC, not the URP. But the URP will make a difference. And coming this general election, I promise you that Guyana will start changing because we will be in parliament somehow.
Beautiful. I like that. And the thing is to provide that objectivity, like I said in my opening remarks, you need a third party to present that objectivity. You know, it is not hidden news. That I liked what the AFC was doing when it was independent and objective, and a lot of people liked, but they moved away from that, and they have now collated to the detriment of the Guyanese people.
Pastor,
and you cannot, Dr. Bandu, you cannot ever do what the AFC has done.
Listen, I went to the first meeting of the AFC in New York, and I know they could not have made a change in Guyana, because it's the same route they come out from.
What do you mean when you say that?
When I say that?
You say that it's the same route. What are you talking about?
Ramjatan, who was the leader of the party, came out from the PPP. Stratman came out from the PNC. What different mentality you think these men had? All of them had been trained under these political parties. And there's no difference in thinking.
So you're saying that
right?
you're saying that this eventual coalition, it was an inevitable act, that it could not have been prevented, that it was the handwriting on the wall.
They don't want it to prevent it because it's all about power. The PPP and the PNC is all about power, and the AFC becoming the same thing. It's all about power. Why all this negotiation that who should be prime minister and who should be this and who should be that? And so much negotiation is about power. You know, if you really want to do something for your country, and you really you promise these people that you will be independent, and you go to bed with these same people who you was cursing, and do you think the APNU trust the AFC? No way. They don't trust them. You know, why you see they take away so much power from the Prime Minister and Ramjatan and all of them? Because they don't trust them. And anytime, I'm sure, in those ministries, got the eyes of the APNU and the PNC looking at them.
So you think that there is a subtle mistrust that is happening behind the scenes?
Definitely. But they enjoy the power, you know. The Prime Minister enjoy the siren that's leading him, you know. Wow. And the other one enjoy the ministry that he sit down, he named minister. You know? So that's what happened. They enjoy that. So, you know, it goes that way.
So you're learning your lessons, right?
Yeah, I have been learning all the time. Right? But if you're going into marriage and your wife and you can't see eye to eye, how would that marriage work? You're only saying lip saying that we understand, I love you, right? But you really doesn't mean it from your heart. You have to mean something from the heart. Everything comes from the heart, right? And if you don't mean it, then it's impossible. It would never work. It might work for a couple mornings, and you'll go apart, right? And that's what's happening right now.
Beautiful.
You know, you are not seeing it. They're not saying it. But if you find out inside what's going on, you know. And I know some of the things that's happening.
Well, I tell you what, Doc, I allow you to speak there now. We ran right out of time, but I was glad. I liked when you bring the passion. I like that. Folks, thanks for joining us on this URP Practical Talk. See you next week, this same time on this same station as we continue this dialogue. And I hope that you're understanding what we're doing. We are casting a vision for a better Guyana, and we need you to help us. We can't do it by ourselves. So thanks for joining us. Follow us on the World Wide Web, www.urpguyana.com, or on our Facebook page at URP Guyana. God bless you. God bless Guyana. Bye-bye.